Welcome to this new moon yoga nidra. And I wanted to do a yoga nidra over the next few months to honor the new moon and the energy of a new moon. And I'm going to explain why a new moon is really a great time to do a yoga nidra practice. If you've done yoga nidra before, you know that when you do the practice, we come into a place that is kind of like circumvents the thinking mind. And so we go into the more subconscious. And why this is a great time to do a yoga nidra practice in the new moon is because the new moon is traditionally associated with energy of fertility. And actually, it's a time that in animals, the fertility hormones are much higher. It's a place for planting seeds. It's a place for the conception of something. Now, if you're trying to put into plan a new habit or something that you want to create for yourself, oftentimes when we're doing that consciously, the mind might come in with something along the lines of, you can't do that, you're not able to do that, that's impossible, and so on. If we can put that seed at an aligned moment with the new moon when the energy is very fertile, and we're using a practice that kind of goes behind the rational thinking mind, then it's a great place to set intentions. So think of it as aligning to plant a seed without having the filter of your mind. We're going to do a little bit of movement and then I'll bring you into a Nidra practice. It's important that you have props ready so that you can kind of seamlessly move from movement into lying down on your back. I have pretty bare props here, but for you, I would highly recommend maybe a thin cushion for underneath your head. Definitely a blanket, and if you have a weighted blanket, then all the better. And if you like to have an eye pillow or an eye mask, that's really recommended as well. We're trying to create a cocoon for ourselves. We want the space to be secure. So closing doors, maybe turning down some lights, trying to have your space as dark as possible and as quiet as possible. The other thing that's important is that during yoga nidra, our body temperature typically drops. So you want to be in a room that is warm enough, particularly if you get cold hands and feet. Get some socks on, and again, blankets are very, very welcome. So we're going to take ourselves onto the floor and just begin by lying down, taking one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. The feet are comfortably underneath the knees. Maybe closing down the eyes for a moment and letting the 2 points that signify the top and the bottom really press down into the ground without forcing. So the sacrum, the tailbone, feel that against the floor, and then the back of the skull. And then there's areas along the back, maybe the back of the shoulders that are on the ground and the feet are on the ground. And just let yourself arrive in the practice. Giving ourselves time to collect ourselves and travel inward rather than our daily lives where we're expending energy outward. It's a time for recuperation. And you can release your hands alongside your body. Just press into the back of the skull and draw the shoulder blades so that they flatten on the back. And now we're going to start to arch your spine. So press the pubic bone forward and down so that you create this space in the lower back. And at the same time, press into the back of the head just to open the throat. And then as you exhale, kind of tuck your tailbone under and slide your chin towards your chest. We'll do that again. So tilt the pubic bone forward, creating an exaggerated arch, and then pull the chin back and maybe even lifting the shoulder blades off the ground. And then let your sacrum release back down. And this time, tuck your chin in and pull the tailbone between your thighs towards you. And then find a place between the two that feels comfortable. On the next breath in, we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling and take the arms back overhead behind you, feeling a lengthening along the side of the waist from the armpit to the groin. And then exhale, just lower the hips all the way down to the ground, really thinking of lengthening the spine as you go down. Release the hands alongside the body. We'll do that again a couple of times. So press into the feet, lift the hips up, reach the arms back overhead. Pause for a moment. Keep the arms back behind you, and as if you were rolling paint on a wall, can you slowly release the seat all the way down? And then take the arms alongside the body. One more time. Try to coordinate the arms and the hips at the same time. Keep the arms back behind you, and again, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly bring all the way down. And as you come down, let's take the right knee in towards your chest. So hug that leg in, extend that left leg out nice and long, and just rotate the right ankle a few times. So a bit of movement before Nidra just helps us to open the body. And then you're going to take hold of either your heel or maybe behind your thigh and extend that leg up towards the ceiling, stretching the back of the leg. If that's too much to hold the foot, then bring it to the ankle. And again, just circle the foot 3 times in one direction, 3 times in the other. And then rebend that right knee. Take your left hand to the outside of the right knee and then just bring it all the way over the body, coming into reclined twist. And then releasing back to center. You're going to bend your left leg, place the foot onto the ground, cross the right ankle over, and then hug that left knee, shin in towards you, feeling a stretch in the outside of the hip. And then release, take both legs up towards the ceiling and just open the legs out nice and wide. Take the hands to the inner thighs and just press the inner thighs open. Bring the legs back together and just shake them out a little. So you're releasing any tension from the legs, the feet. And then bring the left knee in, take the right leg out this time. Circle the ankle a few times. And then grabbing your heel or your ankle, extend the foot up towards the ceiling. So the new moon is a time that's associated with fertility. It's when there's darkness and animals would be able to mate without being seen. So that's biologically why fertility is associated with planting of seeds. And the full moon's associated with birth, with the waters being high. You speak to nurses, they'll tell you that births often occur 3 or 4 days around the full moon. And conceptions around the new moon. Bend your knee, take hold of the outside of the knee, and again, coming into the reclined twist. This just releases and brings some new movement into all of the major organs. If you've been sitting, just kind of juices them up. And then release back to center. Drag your right foot to the floor, cross your ankle over the knee. Try to keep the hips stable, so don't let your hips get torqued here. And then pull that right shin in. And then again, uncrossing the legs, extend the feet up towards the ceiling, shake them out. And we'll just do a little something for the upper body. So come up to sit And then turn yourself around. We'll stretch out from the waist down. So downward dog does a pretty good job of doing that. So taking your hands down, spreading your fingers wide, let your head release. And then maybe imagine that you were trying to unscrew your head from the base of your neck. Just move your head side to side. Maybe you can open your eyes very wide and stick your tongue out. And then close your eyes and scrunch your face up a couple of times. So open your eyes, stick your tongue out. Close your eyes, scrunch up. No tension in the face. And then do that one more time. Place your knees down onto the ground. And then stretching back into child's pose, taking the forehead down to the ground. Come up on your fingertips and just walk your fingertips over to the right side, pulling back through the left hip. Come back to center and then take the fingertips over to the right side, pull the right hip back. Bring your hands back to center and then just untuck your toes, come to sit up. And we'll just shake your hands out, wrists out. So that when you come to lie down, which we're about to do, you don't have this, nervous system fidgets or tension. Keep shaking your hands. Right. And then we'll start to set up for Yoga Nidra. So as you come to lie down, I highly recommend a pillow underneath your head. I don't have a blanket, but I can guide you through it. Turn off any lights if you can. And then you want to have the cushion so that it's underneath the skull, but not underneath the neck. You want to have a gap underneath the neck. So your natural spinal curve is still in place. And then when you come to lie down, just shimmy the shoulders a little together. You're not actively forcing them, but you're just tucking them in gently. The arms should be out to the side, palms turned up, and then the legs extending out comfortably wide. Now, if you have any kind of lower back sensitivity, you might want to place a cushion underneath the knees as well. And then you can pop your eye pillow on. And I'll give you a moment just to get yourself into place for that. And then we'll begin the practice of Yoga Nidra, which is a practice designed to keep you on the verge of sleep, but not actually go to sleep. So you're following my voice, staying with me as I guide you through this new moon Yoga Nidra with a particular focus on allowing an intention for yourself to arise, an intention that is very present for you at this moment. Right? We have this lunar cycle every month, so each month is a chance to pause, reflect, and look for what you want to plant the seed for in the next direction. So just give yourself a moment to tune in and release into your position. And no matter how you come to the practice, whether you are anxious, excited, elated, or fidgety, depressed, it doesn't matter. There's no right way to come into the practice. It is a practice of deep healing and release. And so now that you have yourself in this cocoon, check that you feel secure, that it is dark, if at all possible. that you feel warm enough and that you are comfortable. Set your body. And then ask yourself, is there anything I could do to become 5% more comfortable? Could I surrender to the force of gravity just a little bit more? Could I allow there to be a draining of tension away and down? Can I give myself this time to rest the body, to rest the systems of the body, and to rest the mind? Start to become still. And notice the shape that your body has taken on the floor. Your body has a very particular shape, a particular outline. Notice the points that your body is touching the floor. The points where gravity is pulling and has connection with the body. And then there are also points that are not touching the floor. Again, particular to your body, it may be the backs of the knees or the ankles, or the lower back or the neck, where there's space. But the direction is still the same. The direction is down towards the ground. And your body has volume. You exist in space. You take up space. It is a three-dimensional body. It has a weight and a force. It has contours, width, length. And it has boundaries. In order to soothe the nervous system, I'd like you to practice something called Brahmuri. Brahmuri is the practice of humming on the exhale. So you'll take an inhale, and then teeth slightly apart but lips together, you'll exhale out, making a sound, just like a bee buzzing. So breathing in. Do another couple of rounds, allowing the Brahmuri to fade into the distance at the end without forcing. And as you finish next one, just allow the echo of that breath work to come through your cells and begin to heighten your sense of hearing, listening to sound vibration. Hearing the sound of my voice, and hearing any other sounds around you. Vibration, waves, not becoming involved in the story behind the sound, but just noticing that there are sounds. And there's also a silence beyond each sound. There is a backdrop, like a cloth of silence, on which each sound makes its waves. And let the sounds wash through you and welcome this healing power of rest. Let the sounds just wash through your vibrational field, not becoming reactive in any way. As your mind settles, the pranic energy that's normally involved in thinking or doing is freed. Freed to flow through your body, relaxing your mind from a world of thinking. And instead, this freed energy is able to heal and hear inside the body, able to heal the vibration of the cells with the energy that is flowing all around you. Begin to pull your attention to sensations inside your mouth and the various aspects of things inside your mouth. Feel the bones of the upper palate and lower palate. Relax those. Soften the teeth and any tension at the roots of the teeth. Become aware of the inside of the cheeks and the tissue at the inside of the cheeks. Smooth, moist, soft. Become aware of the tongue. And relax the muscles of the tongue. Relax the jaw. And then taking your attention up to your eyes, feel the veil of the eyelids become a little heavier. Gentle pressure and reminder for the eyeballs to pull back. And the musculature behind the eyeballs to relax. Held softly by the sockets. Soft cushion for the eyeballs. And allow the presence of that energy that is being pulled back from the mouth and from the eyes to bleed into the brain, to soak into the scalp, the forehead, and the temples, and to move through each of the skull sutures, draining out into the ground. Imagine that the front of the body was exposed to a dark night sky, as if you were lying outside in a very quiet space, present with a dark night sky, and looking up to see a blanket of stars. And allowing this blanket of stars of the night sky to come down to meet the front of your body. And the front of your body to expand up to the dark night sky. And there is no end. Small lights, stars, and space that is infinite. Each star twinkling, responding to the twinkles of the cells in your body. Communication between the stars and the sky and cells in your body. Feeling the earth beneath you. Allow yourself to settle in, to rest fully, to exhale deeply. Held underneath by the earth, with this blanket of stars, dark, deeper, clear. Begin to allow yourself to merge with that space, Allow your thoughts to become wider and more spacious. Let yourself dissolve into the resting of the darkness. Somewhere in that infinite possibility and space is the twinkle of an intention, a seed that is waiting to be planted to sprout. Somewhere is the twinkle of an intention, specific to you and specific to now. Seed of intention come to you. It may come as an image, may come as heart guidance. It may come as a somatic experience. Bring your attention to your ears and the curve of the ears. Let your attention come into the ear canals and wind its way around the cartilage, tunneling into the space behind the eyes. Feel the gentle movement of the breath up and down the nostrils, moving past the hairs in the nostril like water over sea plants. Moving in one direction and then another. And the body is breathing itself, effortless. Waves of respiration. The end of the exhale, allow the emptiness, the stillness, quiet resting in space. And on that blanket of space, rested, dark, infinite, Chit Akash. Let the following visual impressions just float through the screen of your mind. setting sun, setting sun, a moth floating in the night sky, a moth floating in the night sky, dark moon, blanket of stars all around you, blanket of stars all around you. A white owl, shooting star across the sky, fireflies, glowing, shimmering, the full moon on a lake, sparkles of light on water. Relinquish all effort and allow deep contentment to emerge. Begin to bring back awareness to your body, noticing the sound of my voice, knowing that whatever seeds we plant in the unconscious mind are very potent, and the practice of Yoga Nidra for your highest and best evolution is complete. Take your thumbs and rub your thumbs over each of your fingers. Begin to wiggle your toes. And then reach your arms all the way overhead. Really stretch out long. Take a sharp breath in and hold the inhalation. So you're holding your breath in, just a point of fullness. And then as you exhale, pull your knees in towards your chest. If you're using this practice to ease into sleep, then move into the position that you like to sleep in and sleep well. If you're using this to reset and revitalize yourself during the day, then roll onto one side. Carefully make your way back up to sitting. As you come up, bring your hands together, gently bow your chin down, and trusting that the process will unfold in whichever way it needs to for you. Hari Om Om Tat Sat.